I finally sold a printer to show you guys how to ship a printer that sells online, whether it's eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, or you're just shipping to someone that you know. Now you guys will be able to see how exactly I ship these. So first I wanted to talk about the printer. It is a printer that I probably wouldn't recommend because this was when I was switching over from more of a clothing seller to more of an everything seller, getting into hard goods, getting into electronics, and really taking the fear out of the shipping. I did see that it had sold comps, but at the time I didn't really understand the difference between just having sold comps and actual fast sell-through rate. So it did have sold comps, but there was a lot more listed than were actually sold, so that's why it took a little to sell. I got this back in May at a garage sale, and it's just barely selling now, February 2024. That'll give you like a little bit of a time frame as to how much it took to sell. I got it for $10, and it sold for $35. So again, decent profits, but not my best ones. I could have gotten better profits for a much better printer that had a faster sell-through rate, or just waiting out until you find one, because also some of these can come with problems. This one had a fairly simple problem. The rollers weren't going, so I just blew in some compressed air and that got everything fixed. And now I just need some new ink for the new customer that gets it. And yeah, but definitely refrain from them if they have a slow sell-through rate. Some of them come with problems. If you just don't want to deal with that, probably stay away from them. There's a lot more items that you can get for better profits at a faster sell-through rates. So yeah, this one sold for $35, and now we're gonna ship it today. So it's going to San Francisco, so it's very fairly of a close one. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so it'll get there pretty fast. The most important thing that you want to do when shipping bulky items is having the box to ship those items. You don't want to be scrambling once you get here that cha-ching to find the box that is going to work for you. So thankfully with my bubble wrap order, I got this nice box here. It's a nice big box that'll fit this that'll fit the printer just perfectly, but as you can tell, it's a little too tall. So what I'm going to be doing is transforming the box, boxing the box, whatever you want to call it, to be able to make this fit. Now, it fits perfectly width-wise, but it's just the box is just a little too tall, so I'm going to be shrinking down the box to make it fit. I recommend saving all of your boxes that you get from Amazon and any type of shipping. You can get free boxes at the dollar store. You can just go into the dollar store and ask them for their boxes. Sometimes they'll tell you to go out to the dumpster, or sometimes they'll already be unpacking stuff and be like, oh yeah, here, take these. So definitely look to see where you can find the cheapest shipping supplies. Facebook Marketplace, the Free Stuff Alerts app also has moving boxes all the time for free. So yeah, I always like to keep all of my boxes because as you can see, they come in handy. Sometimes you have to play with them a little bit, but it comes in handy to save your boxes. So we're going to be shipping this one out, and I'm going to show you guys just how I do that. All I've done so far is take the box back up so that it's ready to go for me to put everything in. I'm going to start by putting in some packing paper at the bottom so it has a little bit of cushion. This is what it looks like once it's all the packing paper is put in there. I get my packing paper from the dollar store. I don't recommend that. I'm going to be making my Amazon storefront where I'll show you guys where I get much better shipping material at much better costs. Now, before we put the actual printer in the box, I'm going to show you guys another tip that I learned from another reseller, Wagon Trail Adventures on TikTok. He uses what he calls the pool noodle method to put like a sort of bumper around items, keep them much safer during transit. I'm also going to be bubble wrapping this, but a nice bumper around will definitely help when it's going around. Now, thankfully, it's going somewhere very close, but if this was going across the country, this method really helps as well. So first, we're going to start by bubble wrapping. I feel like I could just do the pool noodle method and I wouldn't need to bubble wrap. But because this is my first time shipping this sort of item, I think I want to be a little extra. So we're going to start off with 4 feet or 4 squares of bubble wrap. I just want to protect the most fragile parts, I would say. Alright, I think I went off camera for a little bit, but as you can see now it's all bubble wrapped, at least, you know, kind of protected with that. So now I'm going to be adding the pool noodles just to make it much more sturdy. I think I want to add some extra here because this is the most fragile part. So I have other pieces from other shippings that I've done that'll help me do just that. In order to get that half one, it's really easy. You just cut through right here. Get some nice pair of sharp scissors and you're good to go. It's more tedious than it's actually like pretty easy. And then the other side, just do the same thing. These also work great if you want to like fill in some boots when you're taking photos, things like that. You just stick them in and then you can take the photo and it looks like there's a foot in there. That's also another nice little rule. Because the spring is right there, I just want to make another one right there. And then now it's fairly simple. I'm just going to go around this way and then around that way with another one. Now for this, I'm going to use shrink wrap. Again, I get this from the dollar store. There's much cheaper options that I'm going to be showing you guys fairly soon. So now we got one around on the top. I'm going to slip this one here through the bottom so it has some cushion at the bottom as well. For my first time using shrink wrap and this method, I think I'm doing fairly decent. I don't know. Let me know. Also, I apologize if I went off camera. This is kind of harder than what I thought it would be, but this method definitely does help. And just like that, I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna flip this on its edge here, and I'm just gonna cover that because I don't like that. I could put a little bump in here. That'll work. I get the pool noodles from the dollar store. That is something I do recommend from the dollar store. It's at a pretty good price for like all that it can do. So now that it's nice and wrapped and franken wrapped or whatever, we're gonna put it in his box now. All right, as you can tell, I put it into the box now. It's fitting in snugly, and as you can tell, it's just a little too tall for this box, but it fits perfectly fine. The pool noodles are doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping the edge a bumper around. There's a nice little padding and with the packing paper, and I'm gonna fill in the voids with more packing paper, but I want to shrink this box down so that it's much safer and it gets to the customer in a much safer fashion. So now using the box resizer, you just adjust it to the height that you want it, and then this perforator will make a perforation around the box, and then you'll be able to bend it over once you cut it down to that size. You just want to go all the way around. And what's neat is that you already have the measurements, so it'll be the same all around. So I have this box cutter. I highly recommend that instead of like scissors or anything like that. That'll just save you a lot of time. So just cut it down to where you made the perforation. And as you can see, these are already going down. So just got to do one final one here. And as you can tell, before we make different cuts, now it's much better. So you can just close these two boxes like this, close this one like that, and close this one like that, and then you're good to go. You can be a little extra and make perforations at the middle so it looks like an actual box, but I think I might leave it on just for a little bit of extra padding. We'll see when it comes down to weighing it. So I have this scale right here. I'll link everything in my Amazon storefront. I should be working on that this weekend, so that way it's out as soon as possible. And I'm just gonna put this on here and see how much we're at. We're at 12. Let's just say we're at 12 pounds. So I am going to keep those on since I'll be able to have that wiggle room, and then I'll just fill at all the voids. And because I set it at 20 pounds and it's at 12, it gives us that wiggle room to leave a little bit more padding. And that reminds me, I never filled the voids or added my thank you notes. So see, these are the types of things that you got to be very careful with. So I think it would arrive safe with the pool noodle padding that I did, I'm pretty sure. But you want to really fill in the voids to avoid any mishaps later. All right, that's what it looks like after putting in all the packing paper. I'm going to throw in my thank you note, and now I'm just going to tape it all. Oh, look at that. I ran out of tape. Time to change it. It's the perfect excuse to use my eBay tape that I just got. You can get this for free with the coupon, with the store coupon if you have a store membership. So I recommend using that on like shipping supplies like tape or boxes, things that you really need for your business. So yeah, this time I got I used it for the tape and it came with 6 rolls. So it was pretty good. And this will be my first order using that tape. So, all right, now that it's locked and loaded, I'm going to tape this box up. Did I do too much? Probably, but I always do. Anyway, so this is already all set, nice and packed. I'm going to do the one last final weigh-in to put the exact measurements into here, and then I'll show you guys how I do all that. So putting it back on the scale, it's clocking in at 13 pounds. So I'm going to do 14 just because I am on a bit of an unstable floor. So yeah, I'm going to do 14 pounds here. Jumping over to my screen here, we see that I had set it at 22 pounds and these were my dimensions. So now I'm going to change this over to 14 pounds. And then fix these dimensions as well. So the customer paid $20.54. It's going to be $21.17 for me going FedEx, seeing as I messed up just a little bit in the shipping dimensions. I should have definitely put this one in and the 20s instead of the 12s like I did with the previous dimensions. But that is a lesson that I have to learn for next time. And again, this was when I was like learning and I didn't recheck all of my shipping. But yeah, clocking in at 14 pounds and these are the dimensions. It's going to be $21.17. That's going to be charged to the customer. yeah, some change is going to come out of my profits, but that's a lesson learned. Now, they did pick Ground Advantage. I don't know why, given that I had FedEx and UPS as my shipping. I'm not sure if that was a mess up on me or eBay, but I'm pretty sure I had FedEx and UPS, but I don't want to get misquoted. So let me know if they can pick something else other than what you picked, or I truly messed up. I know I had FedEx for one of them, but I think I might have had Ground Advantage for the other one. Anyways, so it's going to be $21.17, and then you just purchase label here. And then I have a thermal printer, so I can just hit that print button. And we'll just put this label over this one here. And then it'll be good to go. So that's how I ship all of my bulkier items. This was a first one for me and you, so I'm glad that we were able to do this together. I learned a lot of things. I hope that you did too, and I'll see you guys on the next one.